Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be telling the story of Jonah, the backward prophet. And as you listen to the story, I'd like you to see if you can figure out why they're calling Jonah a backward prophet. Let's get started. So we have some things to help get ready for the story. A lot of blue, that's for sure. And this piece, I wonder what that's going to be. I think that's about it. Let's tell the story. The word of the Lord came to Jonah, and he said, "Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and tell the people there that they have been very bad, and you want them to change and become good." Now, a prophet is someone who comes so close to God, and God comes so close to them, and they know exactly what God wants them to do, and then they go do it. But not Jonah. Jonah got up, and he ran, and he found a ship going to Tarshish in Spain, which is about as far away from Nineveh as you can be. Suddenly a storm came upon them, and the ship was blown this way and that way. The waves were crashing everywhere, and the sailors became very afraid. They all began praying to their gods. They started to throw things off the ship, hoping that it wouldn't sink. Now, a prophet is someone who helps people figure out what the right thing to do is. They went to look for Jonah, and do you know where they found him? At the bottom of the boat, sleeping. The captain woke him, and he said, "You must pray to your God and ask him to save us." All Jonah did was walk up onto the deck of the ship, and he said nothing. Now the people were more afraid. They decided to cast lots to see whom it was that God was angry with, and they planned to get rid of them. Now, a prophet is someone who can speak to the one true God. Yet still, Jonah said nothing. The sailors asked him who he was, and he told them that he worshipped the God who made the sea, and he worshipped the God who made the dry land. And the sailors became afraid because they realized that it was Jonah who was trying to run away from God. The waves grew wilder and the winds were blowing. The storm was so fierce. And Jonah said, "Throw me overboard and the storm will stop." And they did. They threw Jonah overboard. And the storm ceased. The waves died down, the winds went away, and suddenly the sea was calm. Now, a prophet is someone who shows people what God wants them to do by what they say and by what they do. Yet Jonah said and did nothing. Yet when these sailors saw how quickly the storm went away and how calm the sea was, they fell on their knees and they began to worship God. Now, a prophet is someone who comes very close to God, but a false prophet is someone who's very far away from God. And right now, Jonah was not very close to God, nor was he far away from God. He was just sinking. And as he began to sink, a great fish swam up and swallowed him. Jonah stayed in the belly of the whale for 3 nights and 3 days. Jonah began to pray to God, and the whale started to feel very strange. It grew sicker and sicker, and it finally swam to shore, and it vomited Jonah out onto the dry land. Now God came to Jonah for the 2nd time, and he said, "Arise, Jonah, go to Nineveh. Tell the people there that they have been bad, and they need to change their ways and become good." This time, Jonah listened, and he went to Nineveh. Jonah cried out to the people of Nineveh, "You must change your ways and become good. God has commanded it. And if you do not change, he will destroy the city." Now, a prophet is someone who becomes overjoyed when someone who was bad becomes good. The people of Nineveh did change their ways. They did become good. Even the king and the queen became good. Even the cattle in all of their fields were good. And God decided not to destroy the city of Nineveh. This made Jonah very angry. He wanted God to destroy the city. These weren't even the people of God. He did not understand. So he got up and went outside the city and lay down on a hill and sulked. He wanted to get his own way. God said, "Why are you so angry?" God caused a plant to grow on the hill by Jonah to give him some shade. On the next night, God caused a worm to come and eat at the roots of the plant and cause it to wither and die. When Jonah awoke the next morning, he felt the sun beating down on his head, and he became very faint. He was angry about the death of the plant. And God said, "Why are you angry? about the plant. And Jonah said, I am so angry, I'm angry enough to die. He thought maybe he would still get his way. And God said, you pity the plant, but you did nothing for it. You did not cause it to grow. You did not help it in any way. Why should I not pity the people of Nineveh, that great city where there are over 120,000 people and all of their cattle? This made Jonah think. Now I wonder, what part of this story did you like the best? I wonder what part of this story is the most important part. I wonder what part of this story is about you. Where are you in this story? I wonder if there's any part of this story we could leave out and still have everything that we need. I wonder how you would end this story. What would Jonah say? What would Jonah do?